So Kevin, you're one of the very few people on the planet that has a one word name, at Kevin here.
Right.
I'm not at Michael, unfortunately. And that happened because you were an intern at the predecessor to Twitter, or was it Twitter itself when you were?
The predecessor, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that was that a good sort of introduction to the world of startups?
Yeah, in fact, it was the time that I realized that I really wanted to do a startup. And our office is in the same office we were in back in the day.
And the magic, obviously, for anybody who doesn't know and hasn't used Instagram, it's I don't know if it's actually the most popular or probably the most popular mobile photo sharing.
We worked really hard on making it really easy for people to share their lives in a beautiful way. It's one thing to share a photo, but it's another for that photo to look gorgeous and be something you want to keep forever.
There's a couple different things. Like it's the Instagrams are actually square, right? And most photographs you see in the world are not. They're like 5 by 7-ish. I mean, are you a photographer by background, or?
You know, I won't claim I'm a professional, but I grew up with cameras, and
right.
I was always snapping photographs. And one of the things we did very early on was we decided on the square photograph, and that was really out of an homage to old cameras that shot square photographs, right? In fact,
a Polaroid,
right? Things like that, exactly. And to us, something about the square format feels more friendly. It feels like you don't have to perform, and there's a certain aesthetic innate to the picture before you even take it.
And you also have these really easy filters that kind of make it look kind of instantly kind of vignette-y or whatever you want it to look. How did you, I mean, who came, the engineers do this? Did you do this? Who came up with those filters?
Yeah, so about 8 weeks before we launched, I was on a small vacation with my girlfriend, and she looked over and she said, I'm going to use this app, but I'd use it more if my photos were beautiful. You need to make it so that my photos can look beautiful. So I sat down in an afternoon, actually on the beach, and figured it out.
Great vacation.
It was a great vacation. I know. Well, entrepreneurs, we never stop working, right?
Where are you now? You guys have been online for a little over a year and a half?
Correct. No, it's about a year and a couple months, yeah.
It was October of last year. Okay, absolutely. So, and you have how many users? Can you count that high?
Yeah, well, it changes every day, right? We're adding about 1 million users every 2 weeks right now, which is pretty crazy. But right now we're just over 15 million users.
And those are active, or are they just people who signed up?
So we don't, a lot of apps like to quote in downloads.
Right.
We don't quote in downloads. We do people who have actually signed up and use the product.
And that's worldwide?
That's worldwide, yeah. In fact, 50% of our users are US, 50 are outside the US.
Now, are you guys only iOS right now, or are you on other, are you on Android, are you on the web, are you on any of that other stuff?
Well, that's what's so exciting about the future of our company is that we are only iOS right now. And you can imagine a world where 50% of our users total could be iOS, right? And when we get to Android, when we get to these other platforms like web, I'm excited to see that 1 million every 2 weeks go, to 2 million every 2 weeks.
What's next for you guys in terms of, obviously you're going to roll out an Android, is that the plan?
Yeah, so right now we're focused on iOS, but Android's a priority, obviously. We're working on scaling the team. For a very long time, we were 4 people, and we grew to 6, and that was our plateau.
So more people are in this room than worked for you guys, and you had millions of users.
Exactly. So we've hired, a bunch of people, and 4 or 5 people are starting over the next month. So we're growing the organization, we're scaling the technology, to scale to the opportunity at hand, which is really exciting for us. But, what's next for us is being able to scale to those opportunities and, grow to things like Android and the web as well.
What's one thing that I don't know about social media that's going to change in the next, 18 months?
Well, I think it's going to come out of the blue and it's going to surprise us. But I think the surprise really will be that this is not the end of social media. You haven't seen the exhaustion of social networks. I think many specialized social networks will start to pop up here and there. And I'm kind of excited to see what happens next.
Do you consider yourself, are you a success now? Have you made it? Or is this just sort of the beginning, just the opening stages for @Kevin?
Success for me was when my parents started using Instagram. I think that's all I really needed. The second you make something that your family loves and uses,
and know how to use,
and use every day, But professionally, obviously, we have a lot of growing to do. I think while 15 million is great, 150 million is better, and 500 million is even better. So, we're at the beginning stages of our company. If we're going to build a 100-year company, we've been around for a year. So, it's the tip of the iceberg.